This lesson is on solving open sentences involving absolute value. So to start off, let's go over absolute value and what it means. So here we have the number line, and in the middle is 0. What absolute value is if you have any number, it could be 2, it could be -1, it's just the distance from 0. In this case, that's 2, and in this case, that's 1. It's resembled using vertical bars around some number. The absolute value of 2 is 2. The absolute value of -1 is 1. It can turn negative numbers into their positive counterparts, or just keep positive numbers the same. It's important to know that the absolute value of something can never be negative, because this distance is always a positive number. It's just a distance. Absolute values and inequalities can get a little complicated, so it's good to remember some tricks. So let's say you have the case where the absolute value of some stuff is less than or equal to, as in just a less than symbol or a less than or equal to symbol, some other thing on the right side. When you have an absolute value and the less than or less than or equal to, you can think of this less than as less than and. So, from here, you can say that what's inside the absolute value on the left could either be less than, or depending on the problem, less than or equal to, the stuff on the right, and this stuff is greater than or equal to, depending on what the problem says, negative the stuff on the right. So if you look at this, when an absolute value of some stuff is less than some other stuff, it could also be equal to, I'll just ignore that for now, that means that it's either less than the stuff or it's greater than negative that stuff. Let's say the absolute value of x is less than 2. If we look at the number line, what that means is if here I have, let's say, 2, 1, 0, -1, -2, the absolute value is less than 2. Absolute value is just the distance from 0. So you could be 2 away on the right or 2 away on the left. Actually, less than 2 away, so we have open circles. So this is what it looks like. And that is what an and usually looks like, as we remember from the previous lesson. So this less than symbol means that it's going to be between the negative side and the positive side. So we have and, it's between the positive side and the negative side. So the usual trick to remember this is less than is like less than and. Now there's the case where the absolute value of some stuff is greater than some other stuff. It could also be equal to, here I have that in green. So, greater than, greater. It's kind of like greater, or. So this is going to be the or statement. So, we have initially that some stuff could be greater than or equal to, depending on the problem, the stuff on the right, or all of this stuff is less than or equal to negative the stuff on the right. An example of this is if I say the absolute value of x is greater than 2, I can draw my number line. Here I have 0, here I can have -2, and here I can have 2. So, the distance from 0 is always greater than 2. So that means it's always really far out from 0, but it doesn't include 2. And it can be the same on either side because it's the absolute value. So this is like or. This is what the or looks like. It's less than some number or greater than another number, and that's what it looks like. So once you've gotten these absolute value problems down to just an and statement or an or statement, You just have to solve them like we do in the previous lesson. Again, please look at the examples to get a better idea of using these methods.